Hi, welcome to the season finale and final episode of Let's Watch Jessica Jones Season 2. So, as always, I was wrong. There's no big ultimate showdown or climax or anything. Instead, Jessica finally gives into her love of her mother and decides to try and help her get out of the country and escape with her, which leads them to driving around a couple places and saving a small family that gets kidnapped. That got not kidnapped. A small family that got into a huge accident where caught with a tank, like a truck having a whole bunch of propane tanks. And they save her, and she's like, "Yeah, we'll do something. We could actually be a team and do that." And then Costa calls them on the phone that was left from the family that the mother stole the RV from, and when she hears that, when Alyssa hears that, she basically right then and there has a realization that if I take Jessica with me, they're going to kill us both, and as a parent, I can't let that happen. So she makes the decision to go back to their vacation spot of Playland, and they head there. Meanwhile, back at New York, Trish wakes up and is starting to feel a little better, and Costa and the detective informs her that they're going to shoot to kill. They'll try to bring Jessica back, but not really. Yeah, and he tells her that they're by Westchester, so she figures out that they're at Playland, so she heads over there herself. And when they get there, Jessica and her mother share one trip on the Ferris wheel, which was their thing when she was a kid. And Jessica's mother just says I wanted to be special, but it's you. Maybe all I was doing was to make you. And then Trish shoots her in the head and kills her. And Jessica gets really pissed, but takes the gun and goes to attack Trish, but then ends up just taking the gun and telling Trish to run away, and then just going back to the Ferris wheel, and the cops find her there and assume that Jessica, killed her mother. So the cops are again letting her go because of that, and on her side, Costa was comforting her, and that's with that. So that ends that plot line, and that's how that story wraps up. With Malcolm, we actually see that he didn't just leave completely. He does come back and he finishes cleaning up Jessica's apartment, which he'd been doing all season. He finishes putting in the banister railing and that, and then finally finishes up his one case where he gets the dirt on Jerry's partners, which he gives to her, and then Jerry then essentially blackmails her partners to double the buyout payment, which she takes, and along with her clients, and she said she's going to open up her own another firm with just her.
Which specifically, she takes Rand.
Yeah, she takes Danny Rand. So she's still going to be there for however long the character can deal with ALS. But yeah, so she'll at least still be a big part of Iron Fist coming up. And then, as she's looking for more associates, she calls in Price again for being for off the books job that would be a little dirty that Jessica wouldn't approve of. And Malcolm shows up as his associate. So it seems he has taken the job with Chang, and he's fine with working with him and doing some stuff that Jessica wouldn't approve of. So that's their plotline. And then finally, Trish shows up at Jessica's door to just to explain why she did what she did, and Jessica is upset, and she just can't look at her. The final line's I can't look at you without seeing. The only thing I see when I look at you is the person who killed my mother. So their relationship is basically broken, even though Trish still wants it. And then as she's leaving, she gets bumped, and her phone flies out of her hand and is about to fall through the elevator shaft, and she catches it with her foot horizontally. So I think that's the thing to say, that maybe the experiment did work, but she didn't get strength. She just got like super reflexes or something, like agility. That's probably
super senses that Vito was talking about.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, like I think it might be like super reflexes or like balance or something like that. And that might be a thing going forward. And then and finally, like it shows Jessica being a hero one last time. Like she was just as she's following a guy, she goes to get beer and stops a robbery of a liquor store. And it seems like the only person the ending monologue is her about realizing that how alone she was, and how much she separated herself from life, and now really the only person left in her corner is Oscar the Super and his son Vito. Like they're the only ones that are really happy to see her. Jerry probably, because the last time they spoke was like the 2 episodes ago when she warned Jerry about Shane, and because of that, like they probably still have a connection, but it's not as strong or deep. It's more just business related with Jerry. Like she'll still help and all that, but yeah, I think the only deep connection she has now at the end of the season is Oscar and Vito. But yeah, so that's the episode, and that is the end of season 2.
One minor nitpick that bugged me while watching the episode is there's one point where Jessica brings up the phrase, "with great power comes great responsibility," as like a cliche. And what bothered me about that is, for that to be a cliche in the TV show, the Spider-Man comics or the Sam Raimi movies must exist in this universe. So then, if that's the case, would Tom Holland's character of Peter Parker be inspired by the previous comics? That was just something that...
Yeah, we don't know, but yeah, that is a thing but it's not a huge deal, and it's just something that gets thrown in there, because, I mean, technically we didn't, in the Spider-Man movie, we don't see the Ben Parker death scene, so maybe that did happen and it became, like, some news or something, like it just got trotted out in some circles or whatever. It's possible, but yeah. Overall, I didn't like this season as much as season 1. It's a good exploration of Jessica's character, and it's definitely meant to. This whole season is like ends up with her opening up more and actually like coming in more, becoming more of a person as opposed to just an acerbic, like super powered PI punching machine. Like I say that, but you know, she was a person in season 1. She just had a lot of problems, and I guess this season just like is to help her get over a bunch of them. It gets over the deal with her past, her loneliness, and it helps her open up and try to reach out to other people and to actually start not dealing with people she doesn't want to deal with, but in a calmer way. Like it's just all about her growing as a character, and that's not bad, but it didn't have the punchiness that season 1 had, and I don't mean that just in physical fights. It just didn't have like, for me at least, it didn't have like a gut punch emotional connection as it did for season 1. I felt
it wasn't as focused, I think.
Yeah, I guess, because season 1 basically everything was just about Kilgrave. That was the only plot line, and that was the only thing going through. Here it was branching out, and I don't think that's bad, because it shows that these characters aren't just living for this one thing. Like they have their own lives, not revolving around Jessica's shit. And I mean, like there was a bit of that in season 1 with Jerry, with like the ex-wife and that, but even that ended up getting revolved around Kilgrave in the end anyway. But this, like, they're all just separate. Like, they have little mean points, but they all are separate, and they're all branching out. Kind of like what happened in, at the end of season 2 Daredevil, actually. Where, again, like, they were all connected, but then at the end, they're just branching out to their own groups. Like, Foggy left, Matt, and, like, his own thing. Karen left to permanently stay at the Reporter stuff, and all those things. So it's, again, similar, where it's like the people... the people.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I just But yeah, it's like, again, just breaking off, and that's fine. I'm not saying this is a bad season. It's definitely not the worst Marvel Netflix season. That's not gonna change from Iron Fist for quite a while, until probably Iron Fist 2. We'll see how bad that is. But yeah, it just didn't. This one just didn't hit as hard as season 1 for me. But I do like Jessica as a character still, and I did like her arc throughout this thing to just becoming a better person.
I personally like the fact that the final episode didn't end with a huge punch out or anything like that. It was a lot more deeply emotional, which I think was a really good fit for this series. Because this, more so than the other Netflix Marvel shows, is about the human connections between the characters. The season overall for me was pretty good, but I wasn't as much a fan of the whole plotline with IGH, and I get that she was like going all the way to the beginning, which is something that keeps being brought up throughout this season, like starting from the beginning to understand where you are now. But just didn't feel as gripping or as immediate as the first season.
Yeah, but at least it seems like they've closed a lot of doors with this, because they closed the thing with Will, obviously, and because with that they've closed all of IGH, because now all the three main scientists that were mentioned, they're all dead.
Oh yeah, and they blew up the entire...
The facility is dead. The main doctor's dead. So this is similar to how I felt at the end of Punisher, in that it seems like they've cleansed everything from her backstory. Because, I mean, unless there was someone else that had caught her father and brother, like, and saved them too. But it seems like her past,
really
as far as we know. I mean, they could always pull more shit, because again, it was like 17 years, and we've only really covered 2 instances that are like maybe 2 or 3 years. So there's still stuff that can happen, but like the main big things that we knew about in the first 2 seasons, which were the car accident and Kilgrave, are now gone. That's done. So it's similar, like I said in Punisher. I think I was thinking at the end of the Punisher season, is like, okay, so what are they going to move for next? Which I don't think is as bad with the Punisher, because again, she's a PI, so she can just come across an interesting case, and at least this case will not be about her. Because that's the thing with like detective stories, they can be about just a case or a client, where it could be just, her next case could just be dealing with the background of the client and having a closer connection with them, rather than it always being about her. Whereas with like Punisher, like this, like I get how it could be like a season of like going, but again, a season of going after bad guys. Like, I mean, that's his thing, and it could definitely be like a thing of the week, like a villain.
Well, the other thing is with Billy Walsh, she wasn't killed, and in the comics, that was kind of the backstory of his creation of being a villain.
No, I get that. It's just like, it'll just be, I guess, like him chasing Billy, probably, or something like that. But like Punisher's thing, like, if there's no deeper connection, unless they go through the whole intricacies of each hit, I think it would be more like an episode per episode thing rather than a season long thing. So it turns like a
I don't think
hit of the week.
They do that for any of these shows.
I know they don't. They shouldn't. That's. But I'm saying like that's the only apply, because there's no deep connection. At least again, like I said, but that's not Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. So, sorry, I had somebody interrupting me. So that's Jessica Jones season 2. I guess it's not the best, but it's a good moving forward of all the people involved.
And it's a really solid Marvel Netflix season.
Yeah. I really hope they'll bring Tenet back for more psychobabble shit in another season. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. This was a good season. I'm glad I watched it. I was gonna watch it anyway, but I'm happy to see it. And you should check it out if you're interested in Jessica Jones at all. It's definitely a step forward in the character arc progression of her. And yeah, it's a good. Do you want to give it a rating or something? I don't really want to give it a rating. It's just
3.5 out of 5.
Sure. I'm not gonna give it a rating. It's just like if you like Jessica Jones season 1, it's not gonna have the full connection or the full gut punch that it was, or the character likability, because like Alyssa is not. She's okay in the she's compelling in the emotional connection she has with Jessica,
but she's not exactly fun to watch.
And by herself, she's not that interesting. Like as a character and as a performance, it's not. It's nowhere as interesting as Tenet was as Kilgrave, but it's also just doesn't have the same. It doesn't draw your attention as much. So she's. Yeah, so if you're looking for same level as season 1, I would say this is not it.
Definitely.
But it's only a couple steps down. So, and considering I believe Jessica Jones to be the best season of Marvel Netflix, like that's not a bad thing. That doesn't mean that still puts it pretty high. So yeah, if you like Jessica Jones season 1 and you want to see more of her at all, definitely check this out. If you like the Marvel Netflix shows at all, this is still a very good season, and you should check them out. And yeah, you should. I don't know how much of this will come back, other than Trish getting powers. I think I see that, and because she's out of a job now, that might happen.
Do you think Malcolm will maybe transfer over to Iron Fist?
It could. He might show up because now, if they need more business dealings, he might show up in that now. Foggy is going to be an issue because Foggy, as far as we know, is still with the other people, so he might not deal with Jerry anymore. But yeah, I don't think this will have that much of an impact on the other series, other than like I said, Trish having the powers.
But then possibly, again, neither did the original series as much.
Yeah, other than setting up Luke Cage as a character.
Yeah.
But yeah, but again, keep talking in circles. I'm saying, if you've liked any of the Marvel shows, especially if you like Jessica Jones, definitely check this out.
You can't go wrong.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, so that's it, and yeah. Thanks for watching Jessica Jones Season 2.